Now, I will introduce one or two terms that are being used in Western Indology, which hardly any traditional scholar I came across knows about. I want to introduce them because that's what I can bring, is how to decode what they're saying, and then you can take it further. The term I want to introduce is literarization. Literarization. There is an extra R. It is not literization, but literarization. Now, literization is a common term which means being able to read and write. Literizing a society means you are literate, you can read. But the theory they have says that literizing a society only is the first stage, which means you can write. You can read and write. But before the language and its texts become political weapons for social, cultural oppression, to make them successful, they have to become more sophisticated with certain structures infused into them, which become like weapons. So this weaponization of the language, which is not ordinary language. Ordinary language, you order a cup of chai, you order a taxi, like that. That's literization. Literarization with the extra ra, literarization, is the stage when Sanskrit got infused. The word infused means injected, infiltrated, with certain structures that make it suitable for domination and oppression. These structures have to do with grammar. These structures have to do with metaphysical cosmology, that male, God, divine, king, Shudras are to be excluded, women are to be excluded. So all these ideologies have to be introduced also. So it is no longer just a language. It is a language infused with certain structures. And all the itihas is part of the content brought in to boost these ideas. So literarization is the subsequent stage when a language is ready to be used for political purposes. Those of you who are from IT, it's like development tools. So Microsoft produces some platform, but third parties have to develop apps, various packages for the end user. So between Microsoft and the end user, you have third party packages doing various applications. So Microsoft supplies them with development tools to make their job easier. That role of Sanskrit is called literarization. Sanskrit Brahmins, grammarians, people writing itihas, developed these tools to literarize Sanskrit, thereby giving the development tools necessary for various people to write political kavya, political statements, oppressive statements. So language is, if you just know how to read and write, it's literization. When the language is infused with these devices, the technologies that allow expression of politics, political expression, then it is called literarization of language. And the claim is made that Sanskrit is the most beautiful, elegant, powerful language. Everybody in India claps because they don't see comma after that what it is said, because it is the most ideal weapon it has been literarized and become the most ideal weapon for political use. I would say that what makes the way to interpret Sanskrit and what made Sanskrit special as Deva Bhasha is not the literization for political purposes, but the sacredization for sacred purposes. So we are in competition over what type of interpretive lens we should use. Philology, as you well know, is the field of making sense of texts, how to interpret texts. That is philology. So there's many theories of philology. There's Western philologies, there's Indian philologies. We have our own philology, own way of interpreting a particular text. So if they remove this, they have coined a term, political philology. So Western Indologists that I criticize openly say that the lens to use is political philology, which means looking for political motives in writing all these texts. Valmiki wrote a text sponsored by kings for political purposes. That's what they say very clearly. It's got nothing to do with sacredness of Ram. It serves a political purpose. Vedas serve a political purpose because to keep the order of the cosmos, to keep the order of society. Brahmins have to be kept dominant. Kings have to make sure of that. In return, the Brahmin gives the king prashastis, a lot of rights, prashastis, make him happy. So king and Brahmin are in a collaboration, maybe a conspiracy to dominate people. So there is a political motive that he is looking for. In response to the theories of political philology, I propose in my book the term sacred philology. That this is philology looking for sacredness. That is the insider position I claim. And the position they are claiming is political philology.
If it is proven that Newton was a badmash, he was a scoundrel, then aeroplane will not start falling down because gravitation is gone. The nature of reality is independent of how somebody is understanding it.